Romantic love is not really conducive to successful relationships.
Love is an illusion. Love is not real. Love is a form of mental illness. Love is the stem of capitalism. Let's get into this video. Hey guys, how you are doing today? It's your girl Destiny here and welcome back to my channel. Okay, I hope you guys are doing fantastic. This video is an amazing conversation as always that will always have here on this channel. So this video is a video of a man. I don't know his name because I think he's a speaker. And I wanted to talk about a lot of ancient Greek history about love and capitalism, love as a mental illness. And I went on to talk a whole lot of things which just really got me thinking, because some of the things he was saying about love, relationship, how love was something, an illusion that was given to women by men that have nothing else to offer but just feelings. And he went on to talk about how love is a spell. Went on to talk this conversation he was having there was just getting me like, okay. We want to talk about how they've normalized love to be a seeking thing when people can sacrifice their all for it and feel like, oh, that is love, and how society has normalized people doing extreme things in the name of love. For me, this conversation is just amazing. This is one video that I've always wanted to bring to you people. I've had it like for months now. Like, I want to share this video with you guys because the conversation that I know it's going to strike in the comment section. Like, I'm here to read from you guys. So go down and let me know what you think about this video, okay? But before we get into this video, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, what are you waiting for? We post video every day and we have amazing conversation, like different type of conversation. So you don't want to miss out on this conversation. You can go check out our past videos and you will see amazing conversation. You don't want to miss it. So go on and subscribe to this channel. I don't even know his name, but what he was saying, we got you thinking, ladies. Anyway, guys, let's go check out this video and then we'll come back and talk more.
Because romance was actually a historical phenomenon, it originated in the south of France in the 15th century. We know who invented it.
Okay.
Men invented it, more specifically the chivalric knights of that time and place. And these men invented it for them, for men, not for women. And they invented romance in an attempt to compete with the rich and powerful men of their time for access to the best women. And this is because if a guy couldn't convince a woman that he had something special, something intangible that the king didn't have, there's no way he's getting laid. The truth about romance is that it's a strategy that lower status men have adopted in their attempt to compete successfully with higher status men for women. This is also why romance is a young man's game, because most young men don't have anything to offer women, but they still want to get laid. And if it works, it's a pretty slick game, because I, a lower status man, would have convinced you, an attractive woman, that this intangible feeling in my chest is actually more valuable and important to you than all the resources and opportunity that a higher status man could provide for you. I would have to be extremely smooth for that to work. And to be honest, it usually doesn't. Romantic love was really invented by lower status men for lower status men, so that they might be able to compete with higher status men for women. Because they didn't have the resources and the status and the opportunity that most women are looking for in their partners, they invented an intangible, romantic love that they argued was even more special and valuable than all of that mere stuff. It's kind of a spell that romantic lovers attempt to cast over their love objects. However, it's a tenuous, fragile spell that can really be broken at any time. So romantic love actually works only to the extent that the romantic lover succeeds in drawing the love object away from anything that would remind her, essentially, that the emperor has no clothes. Sort of attempting to draw the woman away from the world into this little universe of two, where everything that we need is in each other's eyes. Forget about everything else. Look only at me. It's a hypnotic spell whose objective is to lure the love object away from anything that could break the spell. Why romance is generally a strategy for those who can't compete successfully in the world yet. A group that is overpopulated by young men. It's very, very hard to be a young man in this world, let me tell you. They're incompetent and inexperienced, so men can't do anything with them. And they're poor and low status, so women don't want anything with them. No young man is the king. And if they can't rule in the real world, one of their strategies is to kind of hypnotize women with the fantasy of romantic love into following them out of the real world and into the universe of two, where he can be king. Do you understand now? Romantic love is not really conducive to successful relationships, like by design. That until a certain point in human history, no one really considered that kind of love to be a positive experience. It's like there's a reason the Greeks said that he was pierced by Cupid's dart. Like you were shot. No one thinks being shot is a positive experience that they should go out and get for themselves. But in general, people who fell in love, it's a fall. It's a fall from grace, it's a fall from sanity, and are generally treated with, let's say, a pitiable indulgence because it's not really their fault. They couldn't help it. They're not in their right mind. But no, not for me, thank you. What changed is that we now, in most parts of the world, consider romantic love not only to be a positive and something that all people should want and seek out, but potentially the most important experience or the most important goal that a human being can aspire to, which is insane. It's totally crazy. It's like basically saying, from the perspective of the Greeks, that the best thing you could possibly be is depressed. Like, the Greeks saw limerence as a mental illness. And within that context, people striving and seeking out romantic love and the one and their soulmate, and it's like seeking out a distortion. It's seeking out a disease. Okay? And these Cathars were a sect of Catholics, a sect of Christians who believed certain things about love and marriage. In particular, they believed that people should not get married. Fun fact is that marriage only really became a Catholic sacrament much, much later than people think. Like, it wasn't until around this time, in the 15th century, that marriage became one of the official Catholic sacraments. Before then, it wasn't. In fact, there's a long tradition in Catholicism about not marrying. I mean, the Pope doesn't get married, does he? None of the apostles got married. Jesus didn't get married. Paul talked about how he wishes that all men would be like him, unmarried. World is a world of imperfection. It's a world of flaw. It's a world of tragedy. Why bind your heart to another mortal creature who will fail you? The only thing that you can trust is God, and we'll meet him in the life beyond, so let's not create any unnecessary attachments here on earth.
I'm coming to the conclusion that most men live in a delusional fantasy, and they created this illusion called romanticism that they wanted women to buy into. But unfortunately, I live in capitalism, and I ain't buying into shit that don't make sense. Men are the founder of mental illness. That's why it starts with men for a reason. They are the founder of Mental Illness Association. With this mental illness that they have, they really believe that women exist for them and that dating is a priority or a purpose for women. Dating is not a priority. It is just something you do when you have nothing to do. At the end of the day, men created dating so they can have access to women. They wanted access to women's time, women's labor, and a woman's body. So they created this dating scheme so they can win you over. Men want relationships with women because they want peace. They say, I need a woman that brings me peace, because they don't have peace within themselves. Women are inherently peaceful with or without you. And unfortunately, that's why men want a little sleeping buddy, someone to sleep next to them, because they afraid of the dark. They afraid of their own demons. That's why they be jumping in their sleep. Dating is a privilege for mediocre men like yourself, because dating is a rich man's sport, because you're not bringing no peace in a woman's life. All you about to do is bring her problem.
I guess I'm going to look for more clips of him. There's so many, like, I have so much to say about this conversation, but I want to know your own take about this. Him talking about how romance is an illusion, how romance is a form of mental illness. I want to know your thought, what you think about this. Do you agree with what he said? Just go on and share your own thought down in the comment section, but please keep it respectful as always. You're on this channel, we're allowed to disagree. You guys know how we do it here. We are a family here. We have conversation, and exactly like what he said, we are really different, and a lot of things are not the same, and it's fine. You're on this channel, we're not agreeing and disagreeing. For me, it's a beautiful thing, because that just shows that we are a monologue of a lot of people. Like, there's so many people. We're not a monologue of just one side type of thing. We are a part of different people, and I love this type of conversation, because we start learning from each other. We start picking each other's brains. So I love it. So go down in the comment section, share your thoughts. But here's my own take on this. You guys know that this is something that I've talked about, and some of the points he was making, how even most of the apostles wasn't married, how marriage became a later thing in the Catholic Church. Because whether we want to agree and disagree on marriage and all that, is that if you know me, if you're watching the channel, you know that I'm married, but I don't believe in the institution of marriage, because I think it is flawed and it does not serve women. But I also feel like there are other ways that we can go into this type of relationship, marriage, and don't lose yourself and don't be used by the other person, or allowing the other person to fail you or break your heart and all that. And talking about how romance is an illusion, for me, it just, his own explanation really makes sense to me. Like, it makes so much sense, and that's why I've been putting it. Like I said, I still want to do this video. I've been putting it because when you know, like, the way romance is being sold to us on media, especially as young girls, I'm talking like most of the romance that I know and I fantasized about and I wanted in my life growing up was all I saw on TV, and I wanted that perfect love that the TV shows us. And society eventually just incubates in your head, and like, you know what, you're going to find that person, and you're going to be selfless with that person. You will do anything for that person. You will love that person. Nothing. Society does not tell us to love ourselves, to put ourselves first. And if you come to think about it, when it comes to the romance part of relationship and all that, we've come to find out that it serves more of men, even including marriage. My personal opinion, okay? I feel like it serves men more. It serves a positive things for men than women, and even the romance, because I think if it favors men more than women. And the fact that he was talking about how romance was a men that don't have anything to give other than romance, and we've seen it so far. Like, let me know that growing up eventually, because it's something that happened in my society, even in my country, there's always this strive of grow with a man that does not have. All you need is love. Love is going to make your relationship work, make you guys strive and flourish later on in life. Just stick together, suffer together, and build a life together. And we've, like, at least in my own society, in my own life, what I've seen people's story, it does not really amount to that. Love does not love. And I'm telling you, people, from someone that loves a husband, love does not keep a marriage. Love does not keep a relationship. It takes a lot more to do that. And if you're not ready to put yourself in that position, don't do it. And I do agree that love is an illusion. It's just a feeling that they just said this is how you should feel when you're in love. You can't stop thinking about this person. which science has called it limerent. So, oh, you just can't stop thinking about the person, you will be with the person, you can suffer for the person. How about society start teaching us how to love ourselves, how to look out for ourselves, especially as women, how to be very intentional about how we live our life, how to choose ourselves. Because there's this saying I always say, like when I have conversation like this in real life, I always say this saying that how can you give what you don't have? Because they'll tell you that, oh, you need to love the person. How can you love someone when you don't love yourself? And when you love yourself, that means you put yourself first. That means they call it selfish, which a lot of people usually associate the word selfish to be a bad thing. I personally, I don't see that to be a bad thing, because when you love yourself, or when you have love in you, you first start off by loving yourself. And when you love yourself, you are selfish, because that makes you to put yourself first. You think about yourself, you think how it's going to help you, you think how it's going to benefit you before you think of other. But that is called love, loving yourself. But so if you don't love yourself and you're loving someone else, how can that be love? Because how can you give what you don't have, or what you don't give to yourself? Like, I can say I want to give you this microphone when I don't have the microphone. I want to give you a Lamborghini and I don't have a Lamborghini. So how can you give a love that you don't have? So I really like love is like, for me, it is an illusion that has run so deep in society that society really, really believes it's just a feeling. It's just a feeling. And because the fact the way society is structured, and a whole lot of us, they've taught us, especially as women, to be codependent. Okay? Because they've taught us to be very codependent, we just tied everything and just nibble it and call it love. And that's why some men will tell you, oh, I love you, but still treat you the most ridiculous, most hateful, most disgusting, disrespectful way than you've ever been. So ladies, always pick yourself, be very intentional about how you live your life. And even when we talk about marriage, how marriage, even the institution of marriage and all that, a lot of people usually think that marriage stems up from being in love and just live your happily ever after life. No, marriage, the institution of marriage, do your research, okay, because it's something I read. Marriage, actually, the institution of marriage started off as a trade between both family, and almost like a contract between both family, so that they can access wealth, share wealth, access power together. It has nothing to do with love. It was just for power. How does it serve purpose? I need what you need what I need, let's do. That was what it was. The origin of marriage was very, very transactional, but eventually society has moved us to this place where we feel like all we need to be married to someone is just love. Anyway, guys, I love to know your own take about this amazing conversation down in the comment section. Okay, so please go on and share your thoughts. I love to know what you think about this conversation. You guys can tell I'm super excited about this. I want to, and you guys, no, probably we should have a live this weekend. What do you guys think about us having a live and discussing things like this? I want to know your own take about this. Like, anyway, go on and share your thoughts. Don't forget to share this video with somebody that you want to be part of the conversation, because that's what we do here. We have banging conversation. So go ahead and share this video. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, smash the like button, because this helps YouTube to push out my content for more people to see, and that will be you supporting this channel and this girl. Yeah, and you can also join the subscription. It's $5 just to support your girl. Okay, you can do that. All right. I'll do it. Thank you. And I do appreciate you guys when you do that so much. Thank you guys so much. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't. And I will see you guys in my next video. Deuces.